These expressions help you communicate better in English. We have talked about habits, and our habits influence the kind of person we become. When we cultivate good habits, they become virtues. When we feed bad habits, they become vices. There is a word by Jim Rohn that I am going to share with you right now. Let's listen to this wisdom.
Focus on progress, not perfection. Too often, we get paralyzed by the enormity of our goals.
Hello, my friend. Today you learn natural reactions when you are talking to people. You learn how to show emotion when you are listening to a story and you need to answer. We're going to talk about these expressions, and we're going to talk about habits. And it's a nice and effective class because we stop and think about small changes we can make that result in big results. That's why I like to study and talk about habits. Let's go. We start the class reading this book here, Principles, written by Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is a billionaire from the United States of America, and he has written about principles to grow, principles to evolve, principles to become someone better, principles to be more prosperous. There will be times in life when you make great advances and times when you suffer setbacks that, if handled well, will provide you with invaluable learning to fuel your next surge of advances. This will happen repeatedly through your life as you evolve. To evolve well, reflect well. I suggest that you keep this perspective in mind as you go through the process so that you can make the most of your experiences. Dalio is telling us, look, you will have setbacks, I guarantee you. But if you stop and think about the lessons hidden in these setbacks, you move forward. He sees the setbacks as learning opportunities. Write your principles down. If you write your principles down, you will think more deeply about them. Pain plus reflection equals progress. When I write down, I see how I should deal with the challenges better. The higher you ascend, the more effective you will become at working with your realities to shape outcomes, to achieve your goals. And what once seemed impossibly complex will become simple. You will understand and deal with reality better. These things will bring you a happier and more successful life. You will communicate better so others will understand you and you will understand them better. Ray is telling us, write down what you want. Look, you know how much I write. You know how addicted I am to writing everything down. You know, I have shown you many times. I am always writing down what I need to do. I am also writing the mistakes I have made. I also write the deceits I have, because I learned with Ray that pain plus reflection equals progress. When I take the pain and reflect about it, I advance. Think for yourself to decide 1, what you want, 2, what is true, and 3, what you should do to achieve 1 in light of 2. And do that with humility and open-mindedness, so that you consider the best thinking available to you. Convert your experiences into reflections about how reality works and principles for dealing with your realities well to get you what you want. Reflect on what you were like. And then he draws the line of growth. He teaches us how to advance in life. It's the cycle. It's this cycle here when we grow. Here's the recipe. 1, set goals. 2, identify and don't tolerate problems. 3, diagnose problems to get at their root causes. 4, design changes in your approach to reduce or eliminate the problems. And finally, 5, do those design changes. Let's suppose we set the goal to get up at 5:30 a.m. every day. We set the goal. We write down, I will get up at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, this is the first step. Tomorrow, I'm sure we will have obstacles. I'm sure. If we don't have obstacles, it's an exception. Thank God when things are very easy. But normally we face setbacks. And then he tells us, identify and don't tolerate problems. Probably we're going to bed late tonight, and then we won't be able to get up at 5:30 tomorrow. So, 3, diagnose problems to get at their root causes. The problem is not that I can't get up at 5:30. No, the problem is that I went to bed late last night. The problem is that I was scrolling social media in bed. And then I get the root causes and I design, number 4, I design changes in my approach to reduce or eliminate the problems. What can I do? Well, I should have dinner earlier. Well, I should start to turn off the lights after 8 p.m. I shouldn't touch my cell phone when I'm in bed. I know it's hard to implement that. I make these mistakes sometimes. But when I design the solution for the problem, when I go to the root causes, I can get to the last step, which is do those design changes. Changes are amazing. And when we start to cultivate good habits, we start to see the fruits of those good habits. God is so merciful. God is so kind that He gives us results when we start to change our habits. We get rid of bad habits, vices, and we welcome and embrace good habits that become virtues. Let's have some water. One moment. Let me just read to you. Let me see. I have other things to read to you. No problem. If we have time by the end of the class, I promise you, I read this to you, okay? Let me. Okay. If we have time at the end of the class, we read this. Sparkling water today. Then you can tell me, oh, sparkling water? Really? That's nice. Wow. Oh my God. These are natural reactions, expressions we use to improve our communication. This is yours. This is mine. Cheers. Let me read this to you. We never know if there is enough time tomorrow or in 30 minutes. Let's do it right away. Learn how to overcome your two biggest barriers. Your two biggest barriers are your ego and your blind spots. Make the most of your mistakes. Unfortunately, mistakes are commonly treated as something to be embarrassed about, instead of as opportunities for learning. My worst mistakes were typically my best learning experiences, and they often happened because I was blind. In other words, they were the result of two barriers we all face: our egos and our blind spots. These barriers are the result of how our brains are wired and can be enormous impediments to achieving our goals. The good news is that we can overcome them through what I call radical open-mindedness. This exercise will help you reflect on your own ego and blind spots. Learn what it means to be radically open-minded and reorient yourself to see your mistakes not as something to be embarrassed about, but as your best opportunities for learning. At the end of the exercise, I share a template based on the issue log I created at Bridgewater, this company, to encourage people to bring their mistakes to the surface for learning and improvement. What is he telling us? We have two biggest barriers, our ego and our blind spots. Our ego is related to our pride, to our uncontrolled emotions, and our blind spots are our biases. No, this is like this. No, I'm sure of that. And then we close our mind and we don't see reality. It's hard, but it's true. I have done it zillion times. My blind spots and my ego have hurt me. And I have done my best to see reality as it is. Oh, but this person is so dedicated, so responsible, so disciplined. Wait. Is it a reality? Yes, because blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is me talking to myself. Okay. This person used to be very dedicated and very disciplined, but this person has changed a little bit. This person has done this. This person has done that. When we are open-minded and when we face reality, it becomes easier for us to make the changes we need to make. Since everything that happens comes about because of cause-effect relationships that repeat and evolve over time, with principled thinking, you will learn that almost all cases at hand are just another one of those, and that by identifying which one of those it is, and then applying well thought out principles for dealing with them, you will get more of what you want out of life. That's what I call principled thinking. Principled thinking is different from regular thinking because when you have a decision to make, rather than just making it, you think about what type of decision it is and what the most relevant principles are for making it. Here I wrote to myself, identify patterns, recognize patterns. Slow down your thinking so you can note the criteria you are using to make your decision. Write down the criteria you are using to decide how to deal with the type of situation. You will have just created a new principle for yourself. With this in mind, do you want me to comment? He is telling us, look, when you slow down, when you grab paper, pen, and you start writing what you need to do, the changes you need to make, it becomes more clear to take the next step. When you take the next step and you register here, it's even better because you can see the progress. You can apply the principles Ray is saying. Set goals, and then you will find obstacles. Design the solution. Apply the solution. See the growth. If you face obstacles again, you roll it again. Design solutions, apply the solutions, and go ahead. Let's go, my friend. Today we exercise our legs. Move your body. Move your shoulders. Move your neck to the left, to up and down, up and down. Let's extend our legs together. You and I, together. If you just watch me, I'm not happy. But if you do the exercise together, I'm the happiest man on earth. Because I know you're preparing yourself to learn better, to get all the keys that I give you during our class. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other leg. I'm laughing because my leg's hurting. This is good. This is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. It hurts. But they say when we have pain plus reflection, it equals progress. Let's face the pain. Now, let's work our core. Doctors have said that having a strong core helps us move at home, at work, and it protects our system, our digestive system. It protects our back, our lower back. I had fractures on my lower back. The accident, and working my core is key. Let's go. As if we're picking something from the floor. Like this. We touch the floor and we get back to the original position. Let's go together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, open your chest, squeeze your back, and look up. The power is up there. Now, let's stretch to the front. You count for us, please count. 1, continue. Okay. All right. Now, we're gonna breathe. As always, we breathe in pure air, new energy, the wisdom we need. And we breathe out the worries. We breathe out the grudges. We breathe out the unnecessary heavy backpacks that we are carrying. We just do this. Leave them behind. We're going to breathe in 2 times. We're going to do. Then we stop, we hold, and we breathe out at once. Together, you and I promise you, you are not wasting your time when you exercise, when you stretch, and when you breathe. Let's go together. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Once more, please. Let's go together. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Okay. Let's talk about these conversation strategies to react to what other people tell you. Are you ready to climb the mountain? You're not alone. Remember that. You can count on me, and you can count on many people who love and admire you so much. You have no idea. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Is that mountain high? Yes, it is. Is it hard to climb? Yes, it is. Is it impossible to get there? No, it's not. And I ask you, how do we get there? And you know it by heart. Step by step. Step by step. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Let's talk about natural reactions when you were talking to people. The first thing is when you repeat information. You tell me, Felipe, I decided I'm going to exercise in the morning. The first thing I'm going to say is, exercise in the morning. That's amazing. That's great. And then you tell me, oh yeah, you know, Felipe, I am drinking more water during the day. I'm going to tell you, really? That's great. These expressions show the surprise we're having when we're talking to people. We repeat information. You tell me, Felipe, you know what? I'm taking care of my health. I tell you, taking care of your health? That's great. These expressions, wow, oh my God, really? Seriously? I can't believe it. No way. Oh, these expressions engage you and the person you were talking to. During this class, we're going to talk about these conversation strategies and habits. Let's enjoy this part of this video together.
So here's the thing to recognize about your bad habit. You cannot eradicate your bad habit. You have to trick your neurology.
Bad habits. How can we eliminate, get rid of our bad habits? If you ask me, Felipe, do you have bad habits? I tell you, yes, unfortunately. And I'm having a fight against them. And we have the blessing of reading the best strategies, learning the best strategies to deal with our bad habits. So then we can push our bad habits away from our lives and we can welcome the good habits. You're going to watch Charles Duhigg, the most respected writer about habits.
We are living through this huge evolution in our understanding of habits. And it's being driven primarily by understanding the neurology of where habits come from.
I thought that drugs were the source of the problems that we were seeing in our community. Turns out, not only was I wrong, society was wrong.
Basically, we tend to develop addictions when we have a psychological need. At those moments, smartphones tend to be great vehicles for providing the hits that you need when you need them.
I think that there is this interior sense when a bad habit strikes that people know that they have a bad habit. It just seems like a lot of people, even the most successful people, don't necessarily know where to start at changing it.
We know the bad habits, but sometimes we don't know how to change it. You're going to learn how to do it. First thing is recognizing, accepting. That's okay, I do it. If I feel deep in my heart that this is something that needs to be changed, I'm going to take the next step.
When you form a habit, you can execute a fairly complex series of behaviors without having to think really, really hard about it. And what that means is that it lets us think about other things. But the downside of a habit is that you stop thinking while you're doing a habit. So as a result, you become less aware of the negative consequences of that behavior.
Habits are so powerful that we automate our actions, our attitudes when we have habits. And Charles Duhigg, he's saying we need to be careful because if we have a bad habit, sometimes they seem naive. No, this is nothing. I tell my wife, baby, stop scrolling social media when we're in bed. And she tells me, no, I fall asleep when I'm checking my phone in bed. Oh my goodness. Everyone is proving that having technology, screen in bed is a bad habit. But sometimes we tell ourselves that this habit is okay. It doesn't hurt anyone.
About 45% of all the behaviors that someone did in a day was habit. It wasn't decision making. And this gets to sort of the way that habits work, which is that there's this thing called the habit loop. There's three parts to it. There's first a cue, which is a trigger for a behavior. And then the behavior itself, which we usually refer to as a routine. And then there's the reward. And the reward is actually why the habit happens in the first place. It's how your brain sort of decides, should I remember this pattern for the future or not? And the cue and the reward become neurologically intertwined until a sense of craving emerges that drives your behavior. If you take this framework and sort of apply it and look at the behaviors that you do, for instance, backing your car out of a driveway, or why you suddenly feel hungry when you see a donut box on the counter at work, but you weren't hungry 5 minutes earlier, you can find these cues and rewards that kind of explain the behaviors. So it's enormously important.
When we start recognizing how our habits are formed, it becomes easier for us to spot the bad habits and start to eliminate them. There is something that clicks, that triggers the habit. And then there is the habit, and then there is the reward. We need to change the habit, the action that is in the middle when it comes to bad habits. The trigger, 6 p.m., time to go home. Bad habit, now I'm checking my phone. No, now I go walking. And then after my walk, I relax.
If you just try and say, I'm going to use willpower to make this behavior go away, it's not going to work. And we know this from study after study. Every scientist who's worked on habits will tell you, once the neurology of that habit is set, it's always there in some form or another. So what you need to do is, instead of thinking about eradicating this bad habit or just using willpower to sort of blast your way through ignoring it, is to change it. And there's this thing that's known as the golden rule of habit change, which is, if a habit is made up of a cue, a routine, and a reward, you can't change all three parts at once. In fact, you shouldn't even try. What you really want to change is you want to change the routine, the behavior. And to do that, you need to keep the same cue and deliver the same reward. And you'll be able to shoehorn that new behavior into your daily pattern. You can't change everything overnight. You can't suddenly say, I want a brand new habit tomorrow and expect it to be easy and effortless. It's something you have to give yourself permission to take a little bit of time to practice, because you're building up neural pathways associated with a certain behavior. And those neural pathways just build up over time. You can't speed up that process any more than is natural.
The importance of walking step by step. We know the mountain is high, but we don't need to think about the peak. We just need to check where is going to be our next step. Okay? 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. How many hours do you spend scrolling your cell phone? How often do you know that you were in control when you're in touch with technology? 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Natural reactions.
Wow.
Conversation strategies. How you can react in a way that the person you are talking to wants to keep talking to you. This is why we're studying these conversation strategies, because I want to see you as someone interesting, as someone nice, as someone who is considered by your friends, by your peers, by your family member, someone nice to talk. When people leave the conversation with you, they think to themselves, this person is so nice. I don't know why, but I feel good when I talk to this person. And a big part of this feeling comes from the way we listen to the other person and the way we react to what they tell us. If they're telling something positive, we're going to vibrate. Wow, that's nice. Really? That's amazing. I can't believe it. You're kidding me. Oh my God. Sometimes the story is not that beautiful. People share problems. We share our struggles, our problems. And then when they say something negative, you can say, oh my God. Oh, really? That's bad. That's hard. Oh, that's too bad. That's terrible. The top conversation strategy to give a feedback is when you repeat something they say. The next is really, and the rest are these ones that I have already mentioned to you. But we're also talking about habits. And one question that I want to think, reflect about with you is, how can we recognize a positive habit? How can I know if this attitude is positive? The way I measure my actions is how I feel after performing them. When I leave the gym, I feel so good. But when I spend too much time scrolling social media, I normally lock my cell phone and I do this. Okay. This gives me a hint. This gives me a sign that spending too much time on social media doesn't add too much to my life. The feeling I have after I exercise shows me that moving my body is positive. It's like cutting our nails. It's a constant, step-by-step process. Okay? We are in the same boat, rowing ahead, not backwards. Sometimes we do things that take us back. No, let's move forward. Okay? 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friend. Do you like rock music? Look at that building. This is Miami, Florida, USA.
Mama, take this badge from me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door.
Hello, my friend. We're talking about natural reactions. We're talking about how we communicate with emotion when people are telling us stories, situations, feelings. You can say, oh my God, really? Oh no, wow, seriously? You're kidding me. Oh no. If they tell you something positive, you can say, that's great, that's awesome, that's wonderful, that's good. If they tell you something that is not very positive, you say, oh my God, that's too bad. Oh my goodness, that's hard. If they tell you about an achievement, you say, congratulations. If it's their birthday, you say happy birthday. If they tell you something positive they are doing for others, you say good for you. If they share a struggle, you can say you poor thing. These expressions help you communicate better in English. We have talked about habits, and our habits influence the kind of person we become. When we cultivate good habits, they become virtues. When we feed bad habits, they become vices. There is a word by Jim Rohn that I am going to share with you right now. Let's listen to this wisdom.
Focus on progress, not perfection. Too often, we get paralyzed by the enormity of our goals. We think we need to make giant leaps, when in reality, success is built on small, consistent steps forward. If your goal is to write a book, don't focus on writing 300 pages. Focus on writing 1 page a day. If you want to run a marathon, don't think about the full 26.2 miles. Think about running 1 more minute than you did yesterday. These small victories compound over time. They build momentum. They create habits. And habits, my friends, are the building blocks of success. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy.
Your habits are the building blocks for success that you were building. He's saying your mind can be your ally. But if you don't cultivate good habits, it can be your rival. Don't do it. Don't go to the gym. Eat this sugar. Eat the cake. It's raining. No, don't go outside. Don't move. Don't stand up. I have done my best to cultivate good habits step by step. We just heard Jim saying, if we think about the audacious goals we have, we get paralyzed by our dreams because we like to dream, right? I want to see you in the United States of America speaking fluently. This is my big dream. But for today, I just want to see you finishing this class. I want to see you athletic, healthy, happy, wealthy. But for today, I just want to see you standing up with your shoulders back and walking to the front of your home. We dream big, but we cultivate positive habits to become someone better. So then we will have the right to have what we want. 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friend. Yes, we're finishing one more class. That's amazing. That's great. That's so good. Congratulations. Today, you will turn normal. Today, you learned expressions to react when people are talking to you. They're telling you something. And first, you need to pay attention. You need to be present. You need to isolate distractions, to talk to the person, to have a meaningful conversation. You know that. Then, when you listen and pay attention, you react to what the person is telling you. The most common reaction is to repeat part of what the person said. The person, I was telling you at the beginning of the class, look, we have a sparkling water today. You repeat, sparkling water? That's nice. This is the most common feedback. This is the most common conversation strategy. You repeat something the other person said. The second most common is the expression, really? This is the top two. The first one is repeating info. You listened. The second is really. And then you have other options. Wow. Oh my God. I can't believe it. No way. You got to be kidding me. Serious? Are you serious? Seriously? Oh no. No way. You're kidding me. That's great. That's nice. That's good. If the situation is complicated, that's bad. Oh my God. That's terrible. I can't believe it. And we have expressions for specific dates, specific celebrations too. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary. There is a difference between both of them. Happy birthday is for the birthday of an individual. Happy anniversary can be for companies, can be for marriages, can be for whatever years of celebration. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Valentine's Day. Today, we also talked about habits. We started looking at that mountain. And I remember the song, Is That Mountain High Enough?
You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough.
The mountain is high. Is it hard to climb that mountain? Yes, it is, but it's not impossible. You understand the metaphor of the mountain, right? Cultivating good habits is a way to improve the quality of our lives. I have told you, I had one bad habit of watching adult content, if you know what I mean. And I cut this bad habit of my life. And I swear to God, it improved my life in ways that I had never imagined. I recorded a video to you. I was far from home and I made this video here to you.
Hello, my Brendan. See the message behind me. You wonder next which path to chart. The answer lies within your heart. Our heart has the answers we need. Love is the biggest power on earth. Love was created by God. So I invite you to keep dreaming. The miracle of your mind is that you can see the world as it isn't. You can remember the past. You can imagine the future.
The miracle of your mind, it's that you can see the world as it isn't. We can imagine the future. We can remember the past. The miracle of your mind, it's that you can see the world as it isn't. We can imagine what it's like to be some other person in some other place.
You know that thing you dream about? You can do it. You can get there. I swear to you. Because there is a power up there, and this power is within you. Within you. Within me. Trust this power. 3, 2, 1.
Trust the power you have. Thank you. If you want to come closer, we are here to serve you, my friend. VIP. Enjoy the benefits, the advantages of learning faster and receiving our service. Thank you very much. I'm Felipe Dib. See you next class.